Hello and welcome to We Never Met, the podcast where I have an interesting stranger on every single week. And today we have
Rachel Hawken from Drift.
And could you just, from the beginning here, explain a little bit what Drift is for people that don't know?
Yeah, Drift is a mobile cafe, aka food truck. For the people who don't know mobile cafe.
The industry terms.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a New Zealand-inspired mobile cafe serving full-service espresso bar.
Yeah.
Savory hand pies that you'd find in like Australia or New Zealand.
Yeah.
And desserts.
I've been there.
Awesome.
I've been to Drift, and it is delicious.
Good.
I had the sausage roll.
The sausage roll, yes.
It's great.
It's a fan favorite.
Yeah. I actually listen to or they're not on the radio anymore, but Australian radio actually a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I was a kid growing up, I was like obsessed with Australia, and I never got to go.
You still haven't been?
No, I still haven't.
Oh my God, you must.
It's so expensive to get over there, though. That's the thing. The flights are expensive, I should say.
If you get over there, like stay at least three weeks to like a month.
Yeah. Just live there.
Just do that.
Don't come back.
No.
Yeah, no, it's Hamish and Andy. Do you know Hamish and Andy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I used to listen to them all the time. I still do. They have a podcast. But yeah, so you how long did you live? Because you lived in New Zealand.
I lived in New Zealand. I lived on the North Island in Auckland for the most of it. And then down in the Bay of Plenty for the people that know where that is. It's beautiful, like beach, sunny part of New Zealand. I lived there for like 6 or 7 years.
A long time.
But like my time there has been, right after I graduated university. So it's just been
because
experience.
I got confused looking you up because I'm like, are you from New Zealand or did you like...
Yeah, I get asked that all the time, and I obviously don't have an accent. Never picked one
just
up.
Faked one, yeah.
No,
it's hard.
I've tried. It's real poor. Like I don't do a good job.
Hit me with your best one. What's your best?
No, I'm not even.
Is it really
never.
bad?
I'm never doing it.
I would try one, but it would probably just be British or Australian. You know?
Yeah.
There's like a little twist. It's so different.
It is different.
Yeah, it's
and
weird.
like it's just like here. Every area has different like
different
accent to
the
only like if you go up north Wisconsin they talk different
right the only like Australian I can really do is like a Steve Irwin impression.
Oh, that's a good one.
But his is like, no, I don't think anyone actually talks like that. He would be like, crikey, I put my body through the ringer. Like that. That's my Australian.
That's actually pretty good.
Thank you. That's all I got. That one line.
Yeah, no, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So what brought you to New Zealand? Like, why were you there?
Yeah. So it was my final year at university. I studied at Iowa State and I decided to study abroad over in Wales in the UK.
Okay.
And I met... you just meet so many people traveling and I kind of got that travel bug. So finished up university and then decided, thought about it for a while, but decided I really wanted to travel and move down to New Zealand and experience that.
Yeah. Did you go there before you?
I did go there before for like a couple weeks before I went just to see, if I liked it and if I wanted to move. It was amazing.
Right.
It didn't rain once. It was just beaches and like fun all the time. Yeah, it was a really cool experience. So one of my first nights there went to a New Year's is so different because it's warm.
Right.
So I went to an outdoor music festival.
Right. It's summertime
on New Year's Eve. Yeah. And I was like, this is amazing. Why would I ever spend it in a crowded
or in the
bar,
cold even.
Shuffling through the snow. So it was really amazing. And I got hooked. I'm still hooked. Life is here now.
Right. Yeah. Because having Christmas in like the summer, that's such a weird concept to think of, when you're exposed to this your whole life.
It's totally different. It's barbecues and just hanging out with friends. It's like the 4th of July, but like Christmas, if in that like comparison of what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. So what did you do for a job there?
So I'm kind of a jack of all trades. Okay. I graduated in marketing and then ended up actually doing a little IT work. Okay. So like IT consulting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's actually been really cool. So I've been able to do contract work, which has allowed me to like travel and work and then travel again, and take breaks and travel and do that. I've worked in a lot of different bakeries over the years. Amy's Candy Kitchen was like one of my first jobs out in Cedarburg. I grew up in Cedarburg. So real passion for just like chocolates and sweets.
Yeah. That seems like a dangerous way to
It's
go.
a dangerous way to go.
Yeah, because I work at a food place right now. I'm a video producer for a food company, Taste of Home, and they make all food. So like when I initially worked there, I gained like 15 pounds.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I just like it's all there.
It is. Are you sick of it yet?
No, I still eat it.
Yeah, see, that's like the problem when you're like really enjoy it already, like before you walk in. So
it's bad. Yeah. But that's pretty cool. So that's why you came back, or why did you initially come back?
So yeah, I worked there doing all of, I guess, working and traveling and being a bit of a gypsy, I guess you'd call it, in your 20s, which was really kind of fun, but still responsible.
Yeah, a responsible gypsy.
Responsible, yes. Yeah. I came back. Well, so I'm originally from here, and I was starting a family. So I have a 4.5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and came back and just wanted to settle down.
Yeah.
And then also, it's just more like Milwaukee's home, but it's also a place where you can kind of grow your roots and start a business and do those things. Whereas Auckland was such a big city, it was very expensive to live there. And would
it be harder to have started a business there than it would be here, you think?
Yeah, I think so. Probably. Everything's just a bit more expensive. So I guess it's all relevant. But yeah, I thought I have a lot of family support here.
Right.
And that's incredible. That helps out,
Yeah.
With the kids, and then also just with random tasks that I've had, that they've helped out in, which has been really cool to see who's picked up what, My sister stopped by my trailer one day, and she used to be a barista and manage a cafe, and I just was swamped.
Yeah.
It was like a first day of spring, so it was just me working in the trailer. And she just stopped by to say hi. Little did she know she was going to work with me for 2 hours.
You get right in there.
Never, it hadn't really worked with me on the trailer. And so I don't know. It's just fun. It's been great support.
Yeah. Yeah.
To
that's
have
really
around.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask, what was their initial reaction to you deciding to venture out and be an entrepreneur essentially? Were they nervous for you? Or were they just
I think super realistic. A lot of my family, actually, they have their own businesses.
Oh, really?
They have or have had their own businesses, small businesses throughout the years. So I think it's been interesting talking to them about, over the years, all my ideas, and then finally starting to do one and actually plan it out, and then being like, no, don't do it. There's a lot of push. I've gotten a lot of pushback, which I think's been really good, because this venture I really wanted to do, and it's kind of like that they keep pushing and say no, and I'm like, no, this is really happening. So once I hit go and started the business, they've been so supportive. Which I didn't expect, because I was like, oh, you're just a little negative on the get-go. But once I started, they're like, okay, you're doing this, let's get on board. So that's been kind of amazing.
Yeah. Where did this idea come from?
So it did come from my experience in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've always wanted to own my own business. I just didn't know exactly what shape and form
and what avenue you wanted to go down.
Yeah, what avenue. I love bakery and chocolate and sweets and all things coffee. So that's always been a really big thing for me. In my ideas. Anyway, I'll get to the point.
No. You can go.
I'm babbling.
As long as you want.
So in New Zealand, you'll see these really cool campers that have been retrofitted, or maybe even something completely custom where there's no walls on a trailer, and it just flips out to a bar and a griddle serving crumpets on the beach. Wow. So you go for a surf and then have a coffee and a crumpet, or coffee and a pie, or just easy grab and go food. And I was like, right, this is really cool. Yeah. Came back to Milwaukee, and I knew there was a really awesome food truck scene here. Right. But I really wanted to bring that idea of the custom, the trailer, and build something really unique that was open air, where customers could just kind of sit on the back bar and have a chat with the barista while they drink their coffee, and just have an amazing experience. So that's where the idea came from. Yeah.
Was it what sort of, because you kind of talked about this with your family, but what sort of challenges were, because presumably going from an idea, you sound a lot like me, where I have like a ton of ideas. I have a lot of ideas, but like once you get to the actual execution, it's like very different than the actual idea, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what were some of the things that you didn't expect that came up that were like the first year, like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about this part? Because how long has it you've been doing this now?
3 years. About almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years?
Almost 3 years. First from the get-go, I wanted to build a trailer from scratch. Never used a power tool. I think we should start there.
Yeah, that's probably a little tough. So how did you build it?
The hammer is my favorite tool.
That's a good one to know.
Still
how
is,
to use.
actually.
Is it?
Yeah. That doesn't work. Then I'll go pick something else up.
Yeah. So how did you build it then?
So I worked with one of my really good friends, JP. He's a custom fabricator over on the east side.
Yeah.
And so he builds amazing things and is an amazing designer.
Right.
And sat with him, and it took us probably like 6 months to actually design the trailer.
Yeah, because it's a unique kind of shape, and I haven't seen one that looks like that, at least.
Yeah, so I love that like retro shape.
Yeah.
And then, but I wanted this open bar.
Right.
That was still, still met all the like health and safety of like Milwaukee
Sure.
standards. So it was playing with that, following all the restrictions and still making it like very aesthetically pleasing. That was like my biggest.
Right. That's a lot of stuff to cram into one
little 10 by 16.
Right. Yeah.
That was probably the biggest, the most initial, just hitting go and being like, okay, I'm going to go buy a flatbed trailer that hauls cars and build something on that.
Is that how it worked? Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just by, so yeah, we CNC routed the walls, and I say we.
I hammered things.
I was participating.
Yeah. Because I always wondered how those things, I guess that someone has to build them. I would
assume. Yeah. No, it was an amazing experience. And I always knew I loved like working with my hands and everything like that, like from baking and whatnot. But I really genuinely enjoyed the whole process. And even, I've had it for almost 3 years now. And, I have to screw things in and fix things on the go. And I think I'm on my 4th like trailer hitch. So like this last one, like I actually fixed it myself. Yeah. So, so I've gotten quite handy, and it's actually been a really fun journey with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause that's a skill that I wish I had. I'm always mad at my dad because my dad is not handy at all.
Okay.
So I don't know anything. I couldn't even use much things.
Oh my gosh.
I have no skills with tools. And so now if I, eventually get a house or something, I'm going to be like,
did you grow up in the city?
No.
Oh.
I didn't. And that's the craziest part.
Don't buy anything on the east side. They're all, I have a house on the east side.
Oh, do you?
It's just,
It's always like fixing stuff?
It's always fixing stuff.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool old houses, they're old, so.
It was a joke, but I love the east side. I'm like a diehard.
No, I'm probably not going to do it now. No, I couldn't fix anything. Maybe I would learn. I'd have to.
Yeah. Or there's people you can hire easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways.
Sorry.
So you talked about going to Wales. That was in college, right?
Yeah. Wales was in college.
How long were you there?
I was just there 6 months.
Okay.
I was like an old senior, I guess you call it. It was like my final year at college.
Sure, yeah.
So it was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
I traveled a lot.
Yeah, because I studied abroad in Ireland for 6 months. Yeah. So it's really nice when you get over there because you can go like anywhere and it's cheap.
It was so cheap. You could ride buses and trains and get that Euro pass, or I'm not sure, the train pass. And
Whatever
it just took you to so many countries.
Right.
It was amazing.
And even the flights are like so cheap.
So cheap.
So cheap and so quick. But
lots of hostels.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I wasn't that nerve-wracking. Was that scary for you? Like all the movies portray it pretty crazy.
There was a couple that were actually I had a great experience in most of them. Like nothing ever gotten stolen.
Yeah,
and it was mostly like just a great way to meet people when you're in a city and like go around and do tours and wander the city with like people that are doing the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
But then there's always the last minute hostel booking, and you're like in a 20-room bunk room.
Yeah.
But usually that's only one night, and you're on to somewhere else. So.
Yeah. What do you think? From all like traveling generally, do you think that like defined you as a person or like made you make certain choices because of because of traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it gave me a lot more hope in people, like going to these different places and seeing how welcoming a lot of people were.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people put the fear of like traveling and you're like, oh, they hate Americans over there and blah, 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 all this stuff. And I'm like, maybe they just hate you. Like maybe that's the problem.
I don't think I have much fear in travel. I mean, I haven't gone anywhere really dangerous at all. But
no, not scared. Like they're going to do something to you, but like they'll just generally be like rude to you or something because you're American and they can tell.
Oh yeah, I haven't had too much of that. I've never had that problem at all.
But like everybody said that. Well,
traveling as a student though, I think. Okay, I do remember a few times where it was like, okay, there's just like a big group of us with packs on.
Yeah.
And we're just trudging along like no one really wants to bother with, that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Like they were like, no English. I'm like, you said that so well,
I just heard you talking.
Said no English very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I've lived in touristy places and you don't always want to like take a picture of somebody
or take a picture for somebody.
Perfect sense.
Yeah.
Thank God for the selfie stick.
Right. I've never used one though, have you?
No. I got one for Christmas this year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You haven't used it?
No, my kids destroyed it before I could.
Really?
Yes, it's now a wand.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Harry Potter on a budget.
Absolutely.
So do you remember, I guess, when the idea came to you? How old is the idea for Drift? Like how long ago did you have it?
Probably, I need to look at a calendar, but like...
Did you write it down somewhere? Like, oh, this would be a really cool idea to do later.
Maybe like 2010 or 11.
Oh, so a while ago.
Yeah, a while ago. Yeah. I sat on this one for a while.
Yeah.
I think largely... Because the idea of serving people out of a trailer is not generally common.
Yeah. Why did you sit on it for so long?
I think the financial aspect, I was still, I probably came up with the idea when I was like 24, 25.
Yeah.
And was still in that place of traveling and saving and not ready to like settle down. Because I think when you have a business... Well, I know when you have a business, you have to settle down. You have to plant roots, and be in the same place.
Right. You want to develop any sort of traffic.
So that's probably one of the reasons. I really like travel, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, since I've started, I've traveled less.
Oh yeah. You had to knock it down a little bit.
I did. Way less.
You have a lot of responsibilities now.
I do have a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah. Dang it. Darn. So you guys do have a semi-permanent location though, right?
Yeah. So we were semi-perm as like a perma truck in the 3rd Ward. That's where we started.
Yeah.
Amazing place to start.
That's where I got my sausage roll. Right across from the candy place there.
Yeah. The Red Elephant right next to Benelux.
Yep.
That really was our launching pad. It's been amazing. I couldn't have imagined where the business would be right now. I really thought we'd always just be staying there in that one spot. It's taken off so much that we're now doing like really big events, festivals, private parties, and like all sorts of stuff, you name it. So we ended up just getting booked. And the 3rd Ward has a special place in our heart. And we're definitely going to pop up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's to the point where I probably need to build a second trailer like yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm just,
Is that ever a plan or a thought, or do you just,
absolutely.
Yeah. Would you go to a second trailer before you want to go to like a permanent location somewhere? Or do you think?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think I'm still like mulling over the whole idea, but possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. I guess I really want to get the business in a really, really strong place.
Yeah.
So that does mean like another location or two.
Right.
Another trailer setup.
Yeah.
Before I expand into a brick and mortar, because there are just generally more costs. And you know what? A brick and mortar is such a different business. You have really, really set hours.
Yeah.
And, you have to work with the foot traffic. And there's just all sorts of things that I've never thought of until like this last year or so.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a brick and mortar, but now I think I'm really a lot more realistic about like what that means for my business.
Right. Yeah. Because I with the the food trucks or like the mobile cafes and things like that, I always wonder, like, how do you know where people are going to come? Like, that's what I always was like, cause it presumably wasn't all just that, but you guys have grown like insane amounts, like in such a short amount of time. So like, did you strategically be like, a lot of people go here, let's get permits to go here? Or like, how does that work?
Well, like I said, the Third Ward's just been such an amazing launching pad for us that we, we just had so many people walk by that location. They may have not stopped and gotten anything, but it was word of mouth. And I think that helped us get into certain events. And then we did really well at those. And by well, I mean, I don't know, one of my biggest things is like having a really good aesthetic and like really good customer service. And, we performed really well. I guess performed, that's probably a silly word. I'm not in theater. But like the events were well. Yeah. And so we've been invited to more and more events and concerts and also like all sorts of things. So it's just been going great.
Yeah, because it's like a start to finish thing. It's like you want to present yourself well.
Yes.
And you want to look good, but then you also want, the interaction with customer.
Yes, that's the word I was like.
And then the food to taste good, and then you want them coming back.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to check off.
Yeah. How did you get the people that work for you now? Is that crazy?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, it was amazing. Yes. Sorry, I say amazing because it's like my core originals from when I had staff. Yeah, they're like still with me. They work through the winter. I mean, they call it their fun job.
Yeah,
it has to be because it's so seasonal.
Yeah.
But they've been so amazing taking on more responsibility without having a necessary like a plan. So like Ashley, she's taken on all the staffing.
Yeah.
She like manages all my staff, does the schedule. In the season we have like maybe 10 we'll probably have 10 or so people.
Yeah.
And it's a bit tricky because it's like you're here at this location at this time, and it's like the next day it's like completely different. So working with that. So that's a huge task. And David's just been amazing doing some marketing, looking at events for us. And
yeah, because I think I found out about you guys through Instagram or something like that. I saw a post and I was like, I gotta go check that out. Gotta go get some sausage rolls.
Yeah, Drift MKE on the Insta.
Yeah, how did you guys pick, or how did you pick the menu of like what you're gonna serve and like what we're gonna put out?
Oh, so originally it was just gonna be like full service espresso bar, coffee, you'd see at most cafes. Obviously, we don't have blenders and can't do like those kind of drinks. And the reason is because of the amount of power we can have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, a blender's like a certain amount of amps.
Sure.
And like we already have all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then the meat pies, hand pies were always going to be an option. And then just some cookies. And since we've opened, we've like kind of changed them, like the desserts and added on. Now we have a cheesecake, which is one of my family's like recipes that people love. So that's staying. We have carrot cake we're going to see a lot more of this year. Those are my two favorite desserts,
and like cheesecake
and brownies and some more like just like little treats, like some cookies and bars. And we do salads for lunch and dinner.
Yeah. Was that you testing stuff at the beginning? Like, were you making all of these things and being like, oh, that's good or that's not?
Well, I had all these like recipes in my bag. It was just a matter of, it's interesting, like at different events, desserts more like a later night thing or surprisingly early morning.
Or a 9 a.m. cheesecake. I've done that before.
Yes, that's a real thing. The cheesecake goes surprisingly well before 9:30 in the morning. So it's just been testing it out and knowing like where I'm going to be. Like sometimes I'll just be coffee. Sometimes it'll just be black coffee. It's amazing. Yeah. So each area that I go in is like so different. So I just kind of have to be like ready.
Yeah.
And guess, I guess.
Yeah.
Educated guess.
Yeah. What has been like your coolest experience from running so far? Has there been a customer that like...
Oh my gosh, I couldn't even name how many amazing customers I have.
Yeah.
So I've met some really amazing people.
If I say like, what was the coolest experience for you? It doesn't have to be customer related, just in general. Was there an event that happened or like something you got invited to or someone, even like talked about it, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they know about drift.
Oh, yeah, there's so many things.
Yeah.
Okay, I might just like rattle them off, and you can pick which one you want to talk about.
Okay, probably all of them.
So coolest, can I just do like coolest moments?
Yeah, whatever
I guess.
you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was really fun to the spray paint. Get the like pavement spray painted in front of drift. I think I'm gonna go in like chronological order.
Yeah, you got to in your head, otherwise it's all over the place.
It definitely is. That was really cool. That was really cool to just see some artists.
Yeah. Did you
let them freeform? I gave them a couple ideas. I was like, just do whatever you want, but make it awesome with like these as your theme.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. That was really cool.
Was the truck there while they were doing it?
Yeah, the truck was there while we were doing it. We were open. I had to come back the following year. It was the artist from Walker's Point Creative Collective.
Okay.
So that was really cool. Getting like a permit to have like tables and chairs for a food truck in Milwaukee was really cool. That was this last year. That was huge. That was lots and lots of meetings with the city to kind of, make those rules happen.
Which is mind blowing. You don't even think about that kind of stuff. It's like a couple tables and chairs and you got to go to all these meetings. It's like, I would never think about that.
Yeah. I mean, the city has rules for a reason. So I was just kind of working with them and making sure that, I met requirements and that we kind of built the requirements for a food truck to even do that.
Yeah.
So that was very cool. I've had amazing customers. So I'm just like, I can't even choose one right now because I'm like, they're all flashing in my mind and what they ordered.
Really? You still remember that too?
Yeah, I have like a weird memory. Like, yeah, I have a fairly good memory.
Is it only with specific things that you can remember like that really well, or is it most things? You just have a really good...
If I have like an experience with a customer, usually I'll remember like exactly what we talked about and stuff.
That's a good skill to have if you're doing what you're doing, Then
but no one quizzed me on that. Like
everyone just comes up to you the next time they see you.
What did we talk about?
What did I order? You're supposed to know.
I'll usually remember what we talked about.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I don't remember most people's names that I meet. I
may not remember the name, but I'll remember what like we talked about in depth.
That's good. I think that's probably better than a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sorry, that's random.
Yeah.
Some of them, it was really cool to get asked to the Rave Eagles Ballroom this year as a vendor, to do some of their concerts in the evening. That was really...
Whoa, you're doing that? That's really cool.
Yeah, I did that last year.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was amazing.
How did you get in there?
The trailer like parks in the lot, and they
right.
It's actually really cool. Like if you go to one of their concerts where they have their pavilion set up, there's a couple food trucks and bar, and you can like be indoor, outdoor.
That's cool.
So I know they're kind of expanding on that. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So one of them was HD 115 at the House of Harley, and that was like a 6-day festival. One of the first 6 days of 6-day events that
when they were doing all that crazy Harley stuff all over the city. Yeah.
Yep. I was at a dealership, and that was so amazing. I was right next to Saz's, which is
that's highfalutin territory.
Just like they are,
Yeah.
Saz is well done. Like you're very successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've been around for years. So it was really, it was kind of daunting to be put next to them. And then
they were blew them out of the water. Take that, Saz's.
Not even close. But we were doing coffee, and like they were super amazing because they've done this before.
Right, yeah.
They had like refrigerators and ovens and all this outdoor equipment,
sure
like
prepared,
4 generators. And I'm just like, hey. So they were just pretty cool, like for the whole time, just, as I asked random questions about how you do an event like this big and like what to expect, like while we were like.
As you're writing notes.
I was writing notes. But it was kind of amazing to see the support because they knew I was just like the little guy, and I was very straightforward. Like, this is my first time doing a 6-day event. So, and it went so well. We'll be back at House of Harley for bike nights throughout the summer. So that'll be really fun.
You guys are just everywhere. Do you ever just step back and be like, and just like want to cry how cool it is that you, because I feel like I would. I feel like I'd do that. It's like, it's pretty incredible. I mean, like the amount of growth is like what people would want over like a 10-year span, and you've done it in like two or three, Like it's pretty
I've poured
amazing.
everything into it. Like this is my passion. I'm like pretty enthusiastic about it.
What was like the catalyst initially to get you to just go for it? Because you said you have a lot of ideas. So what was like the turning point for this one specifically where you're like, this could actually be something
I think the
really
turning
good.
point was talking to other food truck owners.
Yeah.
And having them kind of encourage me to start doing private parties and events and dipping my toes into that. And I really enjoyed it. I like being like working in a really fast paced environment and meeting a lot of new people and being somewhere different every day. I didn't necessarily know that before I tried. And I thought it was kind of daunting, like going to a different place every time and setting up. But I took their advice. It's a very cool community. There's not that many of us food truck owners, and it's very supportive. I'm amazed at, just how we support each other and how they've like welcomed me on. Yeah. It's been so cool. I would not like have made it as far without like their support and like recommendations of what I should do and anything like that. Yeah. So that was pretty awesome.
Was there a piece of advice that one of them gave you at the beginning that like really changed?
Oh God, I've just had so much advice from them. I don't know, mobile business, it has a lot of quirks. So I entered a business that, I had never really done before. Sure. I've worked in restaurants and bakeries and all that, but from owning your own business, they've given me advice, to accounting, to events that I should go to giving my name if they're booked to someone and saying, give her a try. Yeah. She's new. So it's just been like a very cool support out there. Yeah. Well, I can't say like any specific advice because it's literally been completely across the board. Right. Like what I've needed at the time or what they've offered just randomly. So.
Yeah. Did you just have like complete confidence pretty much in yourself? Did you think like at the beginning? Because I feel like you kind of have to, right? If you're doing something new that you haven't really explored.
Yeah, I think I'm like pretty okay with taking risks. You have to take a risk. Be a risk taker, I think, if you're even going to open your own business. Yeah. Yes, I guess confidence comes with taking risks. Because but it's just just genuinely like believing that it's going to work. And
believing in the idea. Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like, you have to, because if you're not confident, you're just going to go in there and be like, oh man, this is not going to work. Like, this is not going to.
Oh, absolutely. You have to believe in it. Yeah. Like, I've dabbled in other like little, like businesses. I hate to call them hobby businesses, but for me, they were, What
other things did you do before this?
Like I've dabbled in like chocolate making when I was in New Zealand and explored very lightly opening a business. Okay. But very like
what does that mean? Like you went to the corner and tried to sell your chocolates? Yeah.
Nothing happened with it, basically, is what it means. But like the idea was there. Yeah. But the timing wasn't right. And then and there wasn't anything unique about it. And I think that's really important for me. I started doing I teach yoga. I don't right now, but I have. And I kind of wanted to, I've always wanted my own business, so I was looking into that. But for me, I genuinely enjoy doing yoga a lot more, especially now that I have my business as a good like stress relief and like, so that was something that I dabbled in.
Because I was going to ask, from like a young age, were you like, is this the trajectory that you thought your life was going to go on? Were you from, we won't say like 10 to 12, but like as you got into high school and college, were you like, I actually kind of want to start my own business. Like, I don't know what it's going to be, but I want to do it.
Well, it's interesting. When I went to college and, you go to those like club fairs. Yeah. I don't know if your college had one.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year.
It was like the beginning of the year. I think my mom was like, it was like day one. My mom was like still there, like dropping me off at Iowa State.
Iowa State, okay.
Yeah, my mom was dropping me off. She's like, let's do this. I'm like, oh, okay. And we went to like the entrepreneur table, Yeah. And she's like, this is what you should do. You should join this club. Like the other ones, who cares? But like, you should do this one. Yeah. And I was like, no, Mom, like, don't tell me what to do.
I'm in
like
college now. Okay.
You don't even know me.
Come on, Mom.
Dun, 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 walk away. Yeah. And she was right.
Did you go back and sign up for the club?
No, I didn't. But looking back,
right? Yeah,
she was right, and it's just that's it. That was just kind of funny.
It was foreshadowing.
It was total foreshadowing. But like, yeah, in middle school and high school, I don't think I really knew what I wanted to do. Like I found it very interesting how people just knew that they were going to be like doctors or lawyers or like, you know, they liked math, so they were going to go into accounting.
But you never really had a thing specifically.
But I knew I didn't want to sit at a desk necessarily. Definitely. I mean, I'm very good at that.
I nailed that.
Not for my soul.
Yeah, but I did it.
But I did it. I may need to do that at some point in the future, and I'm like totally okay with that.
Yeah.
But like I wasn't the best student either. Like not saying I was like dumb or anything. I just like I did it.
I would never assume that you were dumb.
I just like I don't know. Like I wasn't necessarily interested in sitting at a desk and like taking multiple choice tests or something. But I like doing like being very active and doing things with my hands and I don't know, more fun projects, I guess you would say.
Yeah, a lot of school is just memorizing stuff. So I mean, if you don't really like memorizing stuff, which I don't know many people that do.
No.
It's not really that fun. It's not that good. But like, yeah, because
which I just found it interesting because I think they make you take those I don't know, in like 8th grade, those job tests.
Yeah, they do.
And I just remember like what I got
Mom,
back.
I got plumber.
And I was just like, this doesn't
I don't even
seem
remember
to
what
fit.
mine was, but I know it wasn't right because it's not doing what I'm doing now. So.
Yeah, I just kind of wish there was more entrepreneurial stuff in school. Like, hey, let's just what do you guys want to, you know, pick something to sell or make and see what happens with that. And I don't think there really ever was, at least when I was going to school.
There wasn't when I was going to school, but I went to Bradley, which is in Illinois. Okay. And they're like huge on that now. They have a whole school dedicated to entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I wasn't there for that. So
but of course not.
Yeah, they're moving more that way.
Did your school also just like completely get redone right after you left?
It did, actually. Same. I don't know why that happens. That's where all my cash is going, apparently.
All of them. Yeah.
All these new buildings.
Well, you have air conditioning now. Like that's a luxury.
Must be nice.
What does that feel like? I still don't.
Yeah. I want to go back there actually now for free and enjoy all the stuff that I paid for. I feel like I deserve that.
Man.
So we should talk about.
Sorry, I get distracted.
No, it's fine. That's what this whole podcast is about. Cool. It's just tangents, essentially.
Cool.
But no,
that's awesome.
Yeah, because that's the whole premise. It's like we've never met before. I've never met the other 16 people that I talked to before. But it's, you know, you can meet some cool people out there is the point. Yeah. You know, don't be afraid to talk to people.
No. Oh, don't be afraid to talk to people.
Yeah. Especially if they're in the Drift MKE trailer, then talk to them.
No, that's like a requirement. You have to talk to people.
Yeah. I don't even remember who I interacted with that day. I don't think it was you. Yeah.
I don't know. You looked really familiar.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it was. Yeah.
Maybe it was.
Yeah. But
I don't know though.
Did you remember? You didn't remember any of my experience or what we talked about, so it must have not been me.
I don't know. No, I guess not.
Yeah.
Or
I
it
was
was
a
just
child
like
model, so maybe you saw me in a Kohl's pamphlet.
Just say that.
Yeah, you might have seen me there, or JCPenney's catalog.
Oh, good.
No, I was going to ask you. So you're going to be at the ReCraft and Relic. Yeah, it'll be
next Friday.
This Friday when this comes out. This comes out on Monday. So
okay,
it'll be Friday and Saturday. Is it Sunday too?
Yeah, Friday, April 5th, and Saturday, April 6th.
Okay. Yeah, so you'll be there selling food.
Yep, selling food and coffee. We're going to have cold brew back on because it's now finally warm, and I feel like it's time for iced coffees again.
Yeah. Are you going to can you bring the trailer into the complex?
Yeah, I literally drive the truck and trailer like right in.
Oh,
so
dang.
There's a couple other trailers there too that are really like unique campers and some awesome vendors.
Okay, so the website is recraftandrelic.com. And you can get all the details. One of my friends is performing there. He's doing a set, Zach Petrini. So you can go see music too, get some food. Is this the first year you've been, or you're going there?
No. So I started in November with one of their shows, and I was there in January, and we'll be back in April, and we're looking to be back for 2020 as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Have you milled around there? Have you seen any of the stuff that's...
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff to buy.
Are you just going to be there by yourself, or are you going to have
I have
a crew
staff.
too?
Yeah, I have
okay.
crew.
Yeah, so go stop by, see you, get some food, get some coffee, and get some crafts.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see what they all have there.
It's pretty high quality, like vintage and like eclectic crafts. It's like pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, and you can still get tickets to go and stop in. Yeah, so we'll see you there. I'll be there.
Yeah, I think I have a few more free tickets left.
Oh, do you?
So if anyone is interested in grabbing a free ticket, just email me at driftmke@gmail.com.
Yeah, and how you should just say all your socials too, your website.
Oh yeah, so I'm
www.driftmke.com.
and my Instagram and Facebook is driftmke.
Okay,
just driftmke. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
yeah, you got the.
Yeah, we're on the. It's a little white trailer. So if you see that, that's us.
Yeah, because it's like becoming your season now, essentially, right?
Oh, this is my
everywhere.
season. Yeah, it's just leading up now. Winter, I do a lot of planning, and we'll pick up, a few like ReCrafton Relic that was through the season, and we were at the rave and Mitten Fest in Bayview, and a couple really cool things. And private parties, but this season it's just like we go every day pretty much.
Yeah, is that a cold one, Mitten Fest? I feel like
it was so nice this year.
Oh yeah,
it was like 44 degrees,
the year
very
before it was
slushy,
freezing.
very messy, but such nice weather after like the cold.
Yeah,
it was a great day.
Yeah, well, come out to ReCrafton Relic. I'll be there doing a live podcast on Friday. You'll be there both days, right?
Yeah, I'm there both days.
Yeah,
yep.
So come on out. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, it was good.